moose and a candy man. Like a freight train rolling, bringing truth bombs down the line. Promoting the Southland 1 week at a time. Promoting the Southland 1 week at a time. SCV chat starts now.
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it.
You okay there, Moose? Words of inspiration from Carl Jones for this Monday. Before we get started, the views and opinions expressed on this episode are not necessarily those of the SCV, its GEC, its executive director, nor any other division camps or other subsidiaries, strictly those of us expressing them. Moose, were you doing the bull dance?
No, what got me was...
Were you feeling the flow?
I was
Were you working it? Were you working it?
I could be working it right now. You wouldn't know. I'm from the waist up.
He's feeling the flow. Yep. All right. That's probably going to be our last episode.
It is. No, I was sharing the episode out, and I look, and I see, dang it, Moose, stop trying typing in all caps. You turn. Yeah. Look, I did not type anything. I was sharing it out. And as we were going live, I took a sip of water, and I see this. Don't try to tell me how to live my life.
Wait, you didn't type that?
No, I did not.
Did Thomas Franklin get out of jail?
He might have. And what got me was not only that, and then you play Carl's thing. So, yeah, and I spit out some water from laughing. I'm soaked right now, and we have an hour-long program to do.
Maybe 2 hours. Who knows? So really quickly before we get kicked off, hello to everybody in the chat. Hello to Miss Linda. Hello to Frank Kirby watching on YouTube. Hey, remember, we are on YouTube. We are how many YouTube followers away from getting a partnership with YouTube?
80.
So if you are watching us here on Facebook, you can also watch us on YouTube. Go follow us on YouTube. We'll be posting some more content after the national reunion, strictly on YouTube, some short reels and things like that, that you won't see anywhere else except on our YouTube.
Faversham, Carl.
Moose got his microphone, huh? Yeah. So definitely go help us out and go subscribe to our YouTube page.
Please do. Again, we're very close, and we're doing some great numbers on YouTube. We'll talk about.
Well, we'll talk about the numbers a little bit later because we do have an exciting announcement. Al from Middle Tennessee, good evening. Derek Thomas Glover, hello to you. Rich Garcia, glad to see you in the chat. Jack DuPont, hello. Jason Lloyd, glad that you're checking in. We got something to show a little bit later on. David Pope, of course, always in. Sorry I couldn't make it up to Forest Boyhood Home. I'm getting off of a wonderful sinus infection. Dr. Sandy Mitchum, good evening. Robert Corbin, Carl, you've already been spoken to, Faversham.
The lovely Carl Jones.
Yeah, we were doing the bull dance. We're feeling the flow. Kyle Thompson, Kyle, I really I'm glad that you understood that that status we put out about an hour ago. Vic, I will we'll talk about that in a second. Paul Gramling Jr., hello,
Commander-in-Chief, the most sharp-dressed man in the SCV,
the legend, and Landon Johnson. Make sure that you check our Facebook tomorrow. Just gonna leave that out there. There's some scheduled posts. And I think I remember scheduling one of yours. Yeah, definitely, Kyle. So that's definitely good. Victor Smith, Vic asks, is Moose Hunt still on for Charleston? Right now it is.
Do you want to go into the details of this?
No. because we'll spend the entire episode of people wanting to outbid the other person. And we're not going to talk about it's not all right. No paintballs. It's Nerf gun. Get to pay money. Money goes to museum. Shoot moose with the Nerf gun. He'll wear moose antlers.
The thing is more degrading about this is I have to buy the moose antlers.
You can just wear the outfit Todd gave you. Oh, and when you slay your moose, you get a picture taken with them that goes in Moose Mania.
Yeah, great. Oh, you added your thing to my thing. Thanks.
It was always a thing.
Yeah. You can be a part of Moose Mania this year and help out the National Confederate Museum. If anyone ever questions me again about my dedication to the museum, you will know that I'm degrading myself in front of thousands of people to do this. So yeah, and you get to see me in a onesie that does not fit whatsoever. Fat, overweight.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Hey, think about, Christmas card.
Oh, it's a full moose costume. And I cannot fit into it. I wore it for the Christmas episode. I think I said we wouldn't reach like a certain number of viewers that year, and we did. And I wore it. But no one has seen it in its full weird-looking glory. I'm going to have to take it. The thing that's funny is my dog's been using it as a blanket, so I'm going to have to take it to the dry cleaners, and I'm going to have to answer so many questions.
Yeah, I would wash it first, then take it to the dry cleaners.
Good point.
Just get the smell out. Not saying that Alec doesn't smell, but yeah. All right, but you mentioned something a second ago, and I think it's very important to go ahead and do that at this time. We are prepping for the national reunion. We usually give a report on how Chad is doing. We mentioned it in one of the starts on the episode, one of the things we posted out, and we have numbers.
Well, let me pull them up. I have them. There they are.
We have a graphic.
So,
year to date on Facebook, we have reached 978,247 people. On Instagram, which we just relaunched our Instagram efforts, 5,660 people. On YouTube, which we need to grow some more, 27,977. And on TikTok, all combined, 56,732 people. For a grand total year to date of over 1 million people reached. And it's not it's not bragging, or what was the
it's not bragging if it's true.
Yeah, I think that's the lyrics.
And this is just a year. This is not even adding up the 4 years we've done this.
So that's just year to date to now. So we just wanted to, again, say thank you. The only reason why we're doing this, able to reach those, is because you are doing what? You are liking, you are commenting, and you are sharing out our episodes. So share out our YouTube, share out our Facebook. If you're on Instagram, go follow us. Remember, we have our podcast version of the show. We are diligently working on our Patreon podcast. That's going to be a longer episode than, or not even episodes, multiple episodes, more than what I thought.
Oh yeah, no. The funny thing is I've been lying to Connor, saying that I have been reading along with him. Connor's supposed to be my accountability partner in all this, and I read a good chunk today, but a good chunk is nothing. So I bought this book to write down all of my notes for the book. And that is when I realized, oh no, this is going to be a multi podcast episode for our Patreon members.
Yeah, it is. There we go, Ford. That's exactly right. It's not bragging if you can back it up. So yeah, we're very happy about that. Hey, Moose, what time is it?
Well, I forgot the segue. It's 7:12 though.
Well, 7:12 usually means that it is time for Veteran of the Week. I've got the text. All right, you get the text. I'll get the picture because we've got a couple of them uploaded.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll get the text. I got it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Veteran of the Week is Private William Henry Wood of Company A, Marion Rifles, 5th Virginia Infantry Regiment, ancestor of Jason Lloyd. Jason is my reenacting hero. He just spent a weekend at Gettysburg, is what he said, portraying Stewart's, I think, was it division or brigade? I think they were brigade at the time. That's somewhere there. But yeah, so thank you for sharing this picture of your ancestor. Really appreciate it. Can definitely see the family resemblance in you. Stewart's brigade, it was brigade. So yeah, thank you so much for allowing us to have him on as our veteran of the week. Remember that you can submit your veterans via the Facebook post that we put out in February, or email them to scvyouth@gmail.com. They are chosen at random. It is not a foregone, we're picking him, we put them on a spreadsheet, we number generate, and then boop. So yeah. So get your ancestors in.
National. Sign up.
Yeah. Register.
Of course, we'll have our national updates, which now are on the SCV chat website. I decided to make them.
Wait. We have a website?
Yeah. www.scvchat.com. And Connor, I can't even tell you all the cool things that I have put on this website.
Wait, so if I click under episodes and I go under archives?
Yeah. You get some of our fan favorite episodes and some of our favorite episodes, like the Monument Dedication, Defending Stonewall Jackson, the Elm Springs promo, our 100th episode with Cooter, a couple of our episodes with Carl, just some of our top-notch episodes. I'm very proud of this part of the website. I hope to make it grow. And one day, if we can get enough Patreon members, I can put all of our episodes on the website.
Hey, I really like that one. That was a good one.
That was a good one. And of course...
And that one was a good one.
Oh, yeah. These are all good, though. Watch us all. And, of course, you can check us out. If you don't want to watch on Facebook or YouTube, you can go click live episodes. Of course, here's our SCV podcast.
I think it's going to be weird if I press live. So I'm not going to do that.
Please don't. And, of course, we have events, which you do need to contact us. National Reunion updates on there. But as I said, just because it made me feel better, it is member only. But how can you become a member of the SCV Chat website, you're asking? Hit that sign up button. And you can not create an account. We will get in contact with you. We need your SCV number, camp, and if you're not an SCV member, OCR, UDC, just making sure you're friendly, really, friend of the SCV. If we know who you are, we I'll go ahead and add you. That's something I just added is our part of the charge and the full charge. There's a lot of stuff on this website. It is a lot better than what it was before. And if you hit our support us tab, you get sent to our Patreon link and our online t-shirt store.
Ooh. That Bedford Forest one. Well, I can't pull it up. But his birthday is coming up. If only there was a discount code for you to be able to get that shirt.
If only.
There is.
There is?
And it expires July 13th. So you have 1 month. 1 month to order the Nathan Bedford Forrest Attack in All Directions, available in Tennessee Orange. Go Vols! What better way than to support our guys in Omaha right now? If you use code NBF at checkout, use code NBF. NBF at
Are you-
checkout. I'm typing it into the
Yeah,
chat.
that's what I figured.
You'll get 10% off.
Hey, and Connor, I think we have T-shirts that we won't be selling after National Reunion too.
That is true. These are museum fundraiser shirts. The original SCV, the United Sons Confederate Veterans logo, from back in the day. Those shirts, if you can't really see it, we've got, there we go. That's the old logo. We got permission to use those, and the proceeds that we make off of those two shirts will be going towards the National Museum. We've sold a bunch of them, but we will not be selling them after the National Reunion. So those are rare, one of it, and of course, 4th of July is coming up, so we do have a South was right in 61 because America was right in 76. We also have a Thomas Jefferson one because Southern history is more than 1861 to 1865. Just check out the website, check out those great things after the show. Don't be clicking off now. We're going to take a quick commercial break and bring on the man, the myth, the Jordy, and evidently didn't save right because the T is lowercase on the top of my thing, but whatever.
It's fine.
Just notice that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but before we do, reminder that our commercial breaks this season are brought to you by Creative Cockades, research and documentation, quality workmanship, and personal customer service. CreativeCockades.company.site. She does fantastic work. Of course, she did the Mississippi Division Reunion medals this year. The pictures do not do her stuff justice. She's got all sorts of great historical ones, whether it's for the SCV, whether it's for your OCR, UDC, some good replicas of some that were there in the back in the day, so including some UCV ones. Where can I get those shirts? You can get those shirts at scvchat.com. Again, I'll pull it up really quickly.
Hit the support us tab and just click on the T-shirt you're thinking you're wanting. If you want to browse, when it says the SCV Chat official shirt, there's a red logo shirt there. Click on that and you'll be taken to our online store.
So support us. Click there. I'm not going to click it because I'm logged in. But if you want the specific shirt, just click one of those. We have them in comfort colors as well as premium tees. So if you're not a comfort colored fan, all the shirts are available in Army colors. The Patrick Claiborne one is available in green for St. Patty's Day and for the Fighting Irishman. And Bedford Forest is available in orange for Go Vols. Really quickly, we're going to take a commercial break and be right back. Moose, roll that beautiful bean footage.
I got you.
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
I love that commercial.
Sorry.
And we are here with our guest for the evening, Jordy Barnette from the great and sovereign state. Are y'all state or Commonwealth?
State, as far as I know. I could be wrong, so don't quote me.
State of Tennessee. I think Kentucky's a Commonwealth. I think y'all are
Yeah.
a state. Jordy, for those that don't know you, introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your SCV career, and then after that, we'll go into this wonderful award that you have been so instrumental in getting created up there in Tennessee.
Well, first off, thanks for having me over. I appreciate it. My name's Jordy Barnette. I'm 30 years old. I joined the SCV in 2014. I'm a commander of the Bradford Rose Camp 1638 out of Morristown, Tennessee. We're located about an hour from Knoxville. One of the big things that we're known in our area is the winter headquarters for Longstreet. That's one of our big fundraising events. We kind of help keep that museum going. One of the big reasons why I'm here tonight is talk about the Ag Award that we started. I've been raising sheep all my life, showing livestock. I rode horses when I was a kid. I was in FFA and 4-H and all that. And it was kind of cool that we were able to kind of combine all my loves into one thing. And so now we're here.
Awesome. I love that because I work in the agricultural community and do a lot with FFA myself. So really was tickled to hear that, especially because agriculture for Mississippi at least still is the number one industry. Specifically, the chicken industry is the number one industry in Mississippi. So you talked about growing up showing livestock. And you have a picture of you actually showing sheep. And you send another one of a little lamb. Just cute little lamb. But tell us a little bit about the General William Hicks Jackson Agricultural Leadership Award.
I'm going to give you kind of the spiel that I give when I go to an FFA program or any agricultural program and give out this award. Pretty much I say, I'm with the Sons of Confederate Veterans. I make sure they know who we are. That's the nervous part because you never know. We get a big crowd, and I'm like, I'm with the Sons of Confederate Veterans. I make sure they know who we are, and I'm like waiting for a chair to get thrown at me. But we've been very lucky. But I want to make sure they know who we are. We've had the Hunley Award with ROTC, and that's been a huge success for our organization. Unfortunately, in two aspects of it, not every school has an ROTC program. And some places are really putting the hammer down on third-party groups giving that award. So this kind of started at the Forrest Boyd home, actually. It was brought up during a division meeting behind the barn, and someone said, well, everyone's got an ag program. And it's like, what if we started an ag? Well, many years later, boom, bam, it finally kind of happened. Josh Cameron with our camp and with the Tennessee division designed the coin. That's what you see at the top. That is the challenge coin. William Hicks Jackson was, of course, a Confederate out of Nashville. He was known for raising race horses, ag mechanics. The plantation, actually, it's the Meade plantation, which is still standing to this day. His father-in-law, I think he inherited it after the war. So we named it after him, and this kind of gives you the award goes to a student that is, keeps their grades up, is active, has done a leadership role within their chapter, and I won't say camp, their chapter, their school. And so we kind of talk to the teachers, your advisors, or anything. We say, first off, it's no different than the Hunley Award. You have to go to a group and be like, hey, would you be okay with us bringing this award? And once you get the green light, you can do whatever you want with it. One camp The name escapes me which one. Do they actually give a little bit of extra money to it, make it more of a scholarship? You can make this as broad as you want, and you can give out as many as you want. As for me, I actually sponsor our camps awards, and I've actually bumped it up to 3. I give one to my old high school, one to an adult that is big on the ag community, and then I give one to someone that I know that shows livestock. A camp out of West Tennessee contacted Josh Cameron and was like, can we change this award to include adults or families? And of course, I mean, this award is to not only remember the general and our organization. So we're like, yeah, we'll adapt it. And I think that has actually been one of the biggest surprises of how many people have just absolutely loved this award when we first started giving it out to adults and teachers. And they were like, you know, it's kind of, because I mean, these kids do a wonderful job. You really can't get better than ag kids. Just my opinion, views and opinions. So you can't really, and they just work so hard. And also something that I touch on when I kind of give this speech is what is also targeted in this country, not only just history, but it's agriculture. I've marched in Lexington when they took Lee Jackson Day, and we end up walking on the sidewalk in protest when they took our parade route. I've been in flagging events, SCV reunions, everything. I've only been attacked by a liberal because I was shearing a sheep. We were at a fair and we were shearing, and I was holding him, and the ram was fighting and getting kind of struggling. So I was holding him. We had a guy pretty much want to get us thrown out of the fair. And then once they had to get the police involved. And when they showed up, they said, sir, there's nothing going on here. And I tried having a conversation with them, and it just didn't go well. So I kind of looked at everyone. I said, I've walked in a liberal city with a Confederate flag, and I've been attacked for having a sheep. So that's something I really wanted to kind of, and it's opened the door, because when I'm there, people are like, so what's your organization like? And so they only see the battle flag. They just assume what we are, and it's like, oh, okay, so you're not this. And it's like, no. So I'm able to not only talk about the SCV, but then also when I'm in the SCV, I can talk about agriculture. And so it kind of really is just a win-win scenario.
Yeah, so I want to go back to the fact that this is more than just open. It was started for kids, but it's open to more than just kids now, right?
Yes, it always is first for youth, but we opened it up to pretty much, you can do families, you can do teachers, you can do people just in the community that are big in agriculture, and just kind of show appreciation to them. I mean, there's some people that they work years and years, and in my opinion, if you keep a farm going for generations, you've done your community a favor. I would rather see a field full of cows than a field full of subdivisions. So it's kind of like, you know what, maybe that's just a great community outreach. Say, hey, we recognize your hard work, because when you're working out in the field, you know, there's not really many people there that see the work you put into it. And so it's kind of nice if these random people from this organization called the SCV shows up and says, hey, we recognize you, and you work hard, and you need to be honored.
Yeah. So, and another thing that I really love is the fact that you mentioned about that camp, using it to also segue into a scholarship, because here in Mississippi, at least, with our biggest show that we have with our Dixie National Rodeo, you know, that we have the Grand Sale of Champions with that, and it raises, I think this past year was like $500,000 in scholarships. Well, you know, that's not including the individual scholarships like the Cattlemen's Association or the Poultry Association or people like that give out. So it is a great way to open doors for it. How much does the award run y'all to sponsor? I think with like the Hundley, it used to be around $35. I don't know what it is now. But for that, I imagine y'all bought the coins in bulk. But
yeah, we bought the coins in bulk. I believe they're 15 is what we've done. I think I don't know if that's changed. I didn't get a hold of Joshua Cameron, but we've tried to keep the price down. So don't quote me on that. I've lost my notes here. because how I usually do it is Josh lets me know, say, hey, you owe me this much money, because I've been trying to sponsor as many as I can. Last year was the first year I gave out 3, and we showed sheep, we were sweating, we put our animals back in the pen, and then I said, hey, I need to talk to you for a second. I gave him an award. And so, and that kind of is a great way to kind of go to the next topic. So we always fear with the Hunley Award, you're kicked out. You're not allowed to come. They say, we don't want you, blah, blah, blah. If that ever happens with us with the Ag Award, you don't need a school. You don't have to go to a school program. You don't have to do any of that. You can get so personal with this that you can go straight to the individual, straight to their parents, even work with their teachers that maybe are pro SCV or know what you're really doing, and be like, hey, help us out. What student and where do they show? Where's their farm and everything? And you can go straight to them and give this award. That was a big point for us. We now can go, we don't really need permission if they kind of kick us to the curb. It's like, well, then we'll just go off and do it anyways. Yeah,
that is really cool. Really love that, because it opens the avenues up to where things can be, when people are shutting a door, you're finding a way to open a window. That is exemplary resourcefulness there on y'all's part. So if a division wanted to start it, we've got let me find it really quickly. So this award, and which we'll post this up on the website, but this is y'all's application process, right?
Yeah. And that pretty much makes sure that they got the name of the student, and so that we can type it out and print, make sure, spell check, and make sure everything's spelled correctly.
Yeah, and then it just goes to the local camp. And do y'all forward it on to the division, or does the camp have the template of the certificate?
This is a division thing. Now, I'm lucky enough that our camp adjutant is in charge of mailing these out, and he's also in the division. So, but it's on the division website, Tennessee Division website. You go under awards, and it's got the Ag Award. So it's run by, it's a division award. It's not just the camp, but I'm very proud it started with ours, and so, but it's a division award.
Well, that is, I absolutely love it. I'm hoping our first lieutenant commander is watching and taking notes, because he has a farm and really wants to get this started in Mississippi. I'm looking at his youngin, who just kind of has a glazed over look of his eyes, who's wearing the farm hat. I hope he's taking notes.
That's honestly something what I've been doing in the background is I'm taking notes.
Because I mean, everybody needs to, in my opinion, start this. Would love to see it started on a national level. I assume, excuse me, Adjutant Patterson, I assume that's James, says this is a great program, a recruiting tool, Tennessee Division leading the charge. Thank you, Jordy, for all that you do with this and the SCV. James Martin from Alabama says that they have actually started an award in Alabama, somewhat modeled on what y'all are doing in Tennessee, but it's a certificate and a lapel pin. They encourage local camps to include some cash and some businesses to contribute.
And that's the thing. You don't have to do a challenge coin. You can do a lapel pin. You can do, I mean, I've even thought about if, when I'm trying to do a specific student that shows livestock, I even thought about if we can get some money later on, once we get a little more funds in the camp, maybe even sponsoring either a halter or a blanket or something that can go with them. And who knows, even putting our logo on it. I mean, you can go as much as you want with this, even a cockade. I mean, creative cockades.
Yeah, good plug. Thank you.
Hey, I've been a supporter of hers for years. I've got about like 5 of them, I think, through the house, and I just saw it sitting here. I was like, well, there we go.
It looks like the first lieutenant commander is watching. So you already have 2 people in the Mississippi Division behind this.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, well, three, because I've already got a plan of one person who I want to honor with it. especially that if we can give it to because I know like FFA alumni, is a really huge thing in Mississippi, and would like to try to do it like livestock alumni as well. I've got some friends that done that, and as a recipient of my honorary FFA degree, fun fact that my county school the school I went to in my county was the only school that did not offer FFA. So I missed out on that, but I got my honorary membership or honorary degree about a year ago. That was one of the highlights of my career with where I work. James Martin said that, but they modeled it somewhat on what Tennessee is doing. And definitely I could see, I'm going to hush because I've got ideas. I get catalogs all the time of different, like different, like where I work. We put on livestock shows, and we all the time get catalogs of different, belt buckles, different things like that could be used, in lieu of the challenge coin.
Rosettes are a big banners. I will say banners are a big livestock thing. If you go with a livestock, that you don't have to get the material banners anymore. Now they're going to like the thick plastic with the grommets. That's a huge livestock thing right now, and that's what the kids really want. They especially if you're going with a livestock section, they want the banners. They don't. Some of them don't even care about the ribbons. They'll throw them in the trash when they walk out of the show ring. They want the banner. Yeah,
because they can decorate the stall with it.
I'm 30. I'm 30 years old, and I still want the banner.
I got you. But there's so many different avenues, and because it is so customizable, and that's the thing that is so great about it. I mean, y'all named it after a Tennessean. But, in Mississippi, if we did it, we could name it after S.D. Lee, who was the first president of Mississippi A&M, Mississippi Agricultural Mechanics University, that later became Mississippi State, or, some of the other planners, or, that is just that. I love this.
No, I love it. This is fantastic.
I mean, I'm so happy that you came on. One quick question before we segue into some other great things that the Bradford Rose Camp is doing. Jason Lloyd wants to know what ancestor got you to join the SCV.
Oh, I'd love to. Jacob White with the 61st Tennessee Infantry. He is on my grandmother's side of the family. He's actually buried just down the road with his wife. And as far as we know, he was a prisoner of war. And we believe captured in Knoxville. He got so sick that they actually said, this man's not going to make it. Let's send him home. And the records show he took the oath, which was kind of confusing because then I talked to my cousin who's closer kin to him, and he's like, I've done more, and he's a reenactor, he's got his own cannon and everything. And he's like, that ain't right. He's like, he was so sick, they sent him home. So we're kind of thinking they fudged some documents, but his wife got a widow's pension, but he got so sick, they sent him home, thought he was going to die, and he ended up living, thank God. And his wife was left poor after his passing, but she got a widow's pension, and now they're buried right beside each other amongst many other Confederates out of the 61st. And that's a future project I'd like to get done, is put a marker in that cemetery. The cemetery that he's buried in, it's got soldiers all the way up to, I think, Korea, and buried there. And it's even got a World War I Medal of Honor recipient buried there. So it's this cemetery full of history and honor, and and I feel complete honor that he's buried there with them.
Yeah. James Martin did ask one more question about the Ag Award. And of course, everybody who's watching in, if you're catching up with it and have questions, continue to funnel them in. We'll piggyback back and forth. Do you know how many Ag Awards Tennessee presents each year?
Not each year. I know we've done over 50, I think, for the years. COVID really, I think when we first started this, it was during COVID, and it kicked us in the teeth. I was lucky enough, though, because I have a connection with the community, the person who received our award, and I believe it was actually our first award ever given out as a camp, goes to my church. And so we were having church outside in the picnic shed, and I said, before we go to service, I've got something to give you. And we were able to give this award out to him and post it out. So not even COVID can keep not COVID, not getting kicked out of school, nothing should prevent you from giving out an award like this.
Well, that is a perfect tagline for it. Speaking of churches, your camp is involved with a very historical church, and you send in some pictures and stuff like that. Go ahead and bring them up, and good job there, Moose. The Bethesda Presbyterian Church. I know we back in April we shared some pictures that Kevin put out from the Easter service. I think that's at the same church. Talk to us about the Bethesda Church.
Well, so when Longstreet was here and through the winter of 63, he actually was, so he's at the museum. He's from December 22nd, 63 to January 29th, 64. And they establish Bethesda as a hospital. So there's mass graves there. We have most of them a lot of them marked. We have a huge monument there. That was actually the first project, I believe, when the camp was founded in 94, was to put a 30-foot flagpole up. And then another group said, well, man, that's the only flagpole in the cemetery. So then they come behind us and put up a larger U.S. flag. So I always say, thanks to us, there's 2 beautiful flagpoles in that cemetery.
And you have a picture you sent in of the flagpole, right?
Yes, that was after we cleaned the church for our sunrise service. It flies a 3rd National, and then the U.S. is right behind it, and the monument's right between it. And so we keep the flagpole. It's been there since, it's one of the most iconic scenes in there. This cemetery not only has a huge historical significance, but people that are not even interested in history love this church. And we're working really hard. We've got some guys coming to quote. It needs some repairs. People try to break into it. I think when I was in middle school, someone actually took the candles we used for a sunrise service, and this is before I became a member, and vandalized the church and stuff. So it's been through some tough times, but it's survived. It survived war. It actually was a smallpox hospital. And if you ever know anything about that, they usually got burned afterwards. They would just torch the building. Davy Crockett had a tavern in Morristown, and the original building was a smallpox hospital, or at least was quarantined. And afterwards, they burned it down. And the one that exists now in Morristown was built during the centennial of Morristown. So there's a building now in a museum. But the reason this one survived is there was a man who knew how to clean them. And so they brought him in. He was able to save the church. That's an original picture right there. Someone who, from the family that owned the museum when it was a house, found these, and these were original pictures. So that's the original church. On the other side of the church, and I wish I'd have found that picture, there's actually a hole in the brick that's been fixed. It was hit by a cannon. And just thousands of men were brought here, and that was where they funneled all the wounded into this church. And now we are very lucky that it's part of our tradition to have a sunrise service there, Confederate memorial services, etc. And we're now trying, as soon as we get some of our other projects done, this is one that I'd like to really focus on.
And you mentioned a monument. Harrison, bring that picture up if you don't mind, please. I'm typing a message to Jack in the chat.
All right.
Should be a couple above this one. I've been jumping around in the pictures.
Above?
Think above.
It's below.
Somewhere around the flagpole. Okay, well, nope.
Well,
there you go. This is the marker that was put up to kind of honor the men that are buried there. Some of them have been remarked over the years through records. There was a Mississippi man during one of our picnic programs. It was like my first or second year being a camp member. This family came and we got to dedicate a stone and give them a flag off the flagpole, which was a beautiful moment. But there's a mass grave there, and it's beautiful that we can really, this is a cemetery we can put flags up and they're not touched. We're very blessed, knock on wood. that this cemetery can honor these men. And that was our Christmas wreath from this year. And so there's that marker, and then there's another one right next to it. And there's plenty of space for more, so you never know.
Well, really quickly, I'm going to try to find it really. Here we go. So if anybody wants to donate to help the Bradford Rose Camp, what they're doing with the the Bethesda Cemetery, who knows? I actually may try to make it up there for Easter next year. I just think that'd be cool to do. I may drag some. Well, no, I'll leave him back in Mississippi. But I may try to make it up there. I think that'd be cool to do as a sunrise period service. But mail donations to P.O. Box 214, Bulls Gap, Tennessee. Zip code is 37711, and make checks payable to the Bradford Rose SCV.
We have a lot of, and if you want to specify what you want your donation to, if you want to make a donation just to our camp, to Bethesda, do you want to make it to the Longstreet Museum, which we'll talk about later, hopefully, or even to our new monument project, which was the picture that was shown before.
Yeah, and we'll be bringing that up here in a second. I'm copying that and putting it in the chat.
That's on me.
Yeah. Really quick. So
you got me thinking about the Ag Ward. That's
yeah.
That's
I mean, so right now Alabama's already copied y'all. Miss Linda says that she hopes Florida will. I'm guaranteeing almost that Mississippi will.
You got this farmer's vote.
Yeah, we've got a young compatriot down in South Mississippi who's already wanting to order awards from y'all. I'm like, hold on, we're going to start it in Mississippi here. Calm down a second. He is
Tennessee Division, SCV.com. So go to the division page.
Jack, wait for us to start ours.
Hey, fair season's around the corner. You got to get it going.
It is. So Longstreet Museum, let's talk about it for a second. So of course this is the sign for it.
Well, it's an older sign, and I mean, we've got stories. I swear this house has been through so much. So the house was rescued by former division commander Mike Beck and a few other true historians, and they saved it from being demolished and turned to a dollar store, which the dollar store no longer exists. So it was just, I passed that little spot. They built it just 2 lots down. And so every time I pass it, I'm like, that could have been that historical building. But so Longstreet moves in after Knoxville. He's going to winter here. It is the coldest winter on record, 30 below. Animals are dying, standing up. There's the only reason they really go to Russellville is there was a bumper crop, going back to agriculture. And the mill worked 24/7, pumping out food for the men, for the animals. And there was also the railroad station, and they could set a communication room straight to Jefferson Davis. And actually, our museum is the only communication room dedicated to communication, Union or Confederate, in the state of Tennessee. So that's a little jewel in our cap right there, a little feather in our cap. But this marker has actually been fixed and painted, and we were having an event where they took it down to repaint it and kind of fix it up. And then 2 days later, a drunk driver came and took out the base. So they saved the marker by 2 days, just wanting to spruce it up, and they end up saving it. So if we could, it's a very heavy trafficked area where we're wanting to put our monument.
Yeah. So do you want to talk more about the house? Or you want to go to the monument first?
We'll go to the house a little bit more if you want to. I've got some pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. This was at a picnic a few years ago that we had, and I asked the museum, I said, can I put a flag like they do at the Sam Davis home? And so they said yes. I put a big Third National on it. And this is the house. Now, what's interesting about the house, this is not what it looked like during the war. The porch, which is something we're wanting replaced. We're wanting to turn it into a smaller porch with a balcony. There's actually a door behind that middle window. And were wanting to replace it. This house, when they were coming through with the road many years after the war, they said, you're going to have to just tear down your house. Well, the owner said, no, we're not. So they chopped the house in half, put it on logs, rolled it around, and reattached it. So when you enter from the back of the house where you enter from the museum, you're actually going through the original front door of the house. So this house is just, I mean, it survived everything from being a headquarters, the winters, the wars. It's had men fight in the yard. I mean, you've got everything, and it still survived, almost being turned to a dollar store. So it survived everything. But we're wanting to actually replace that porch and make it more period correct. This was an event actually during 2020. There was no reenactments going on, so they had a private reenactment on a farm down the road. So we kind of set up and had a whole reenactment on the yard a little bit, and then they went down the road. They actually attached cannons to the back of trucks and just rolled them down the road to the reenactment. So this kind of shows you we've not got a lot of space on this property, but they have made so much great work with what we have. The next picture I think shows a little bit more. Okay, the building with the porch, that is the gift shop. It was a garage, and they converted it into the gift shop, to a research library and an apartment upstairs for a staff member who lives permanently on the property. And then if you ever heard of General Kershaw from South Carolina, there is a building, pretty much it's not shown in this picture, but to the right, he set up his office in a building at another home, which is no longer, doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. And it was been moved twice. And the third time they said, do y'all want it? And the museum took it. And now it's being preserved.
Yeah, well, that's really cool because Kershaw is his brigade was right next to Barksdale's, who Jeff Davis slapped at Gettysburg, and then of course we have this Harrison.
Yeah, actually that's got the Kershaw building on it, so there we go. So yeah, I mean, the fact that you talked at the last Monday about you got to look at your own backyard. This house, and I wish I had the pictures of what it looked like when it was an antique store, when it was abandoned. This history, and that was just in our backyard. I would go to school, and my grandmother would take me past the house. I'd see the historical marker. I'm like, slow down. I want to read it. I want to read the historical marker. And I was like, who is Longstreet? What is this, that, and the other? And it sparked that interest. Then many years later, she said, we're going to have a reenactment down there. Do you want to go watch it? So she took me to the reenactment, which even triggered more. And I even bought my first battle flag at that reenactment. And I started learning history even more. And then we took her to, she ended up getting cancer a few years later. And I took her to see the museum again when it was actually officially a museum. And then the next time I went, she had unfortunately passed. I've had my wedding shower there. We've started doing events there. Good friends of ours, Phyllis and Odie, had their they actually got married at Bethesda Church. They had a period wedding, and then they had the reception at the museum. So it's become not only just a museum, but kind of a home away from home, a greeting place. And I think that really brings the heart back into it.
Yeah, so really quickly, for anybody who's interested, of course, you can mail donations into the camp. It's scrolling across the bottom. But they do have an Adopt a Project. So they're raising money to help with that. So foundation repair is $7,500. Paint the museum building, which I assume is the main house, right?
Yeah.
And that's painting the shutters and replacing wood. That's $30,000. Gutters, HVAC, HVAC privacy fence, rather. Painting the Kershaw building. Displays. I mean, that's a ton of ways that you can help preserve this, especially two buildings that have such a tie to our history, and is very supportive of our cause. It sounds like they're very friendly to us. So mail those in to there on the bottom. We'll post that after the show. You got that, Moose? You'll post that after the show.
Oh yeah, I'll schedule it.
All right, and so that's just different ways that y'all can help make this make their dreams come true.
And if there's
historical preservation.
if there's any divisions that would like to donate, we are very open to putting plaques with camp names, chapter names, divisions, and so on and so forth. So,
yeah. So now we've talked about the monument. We're showing the picture of the monument. I love this T-shirt idea. Kelly Ford, who is who lives in the museum, who is permanently on staff. He does uniforms. He's a tailor, and he does all the graphics for the museum. And I sat down with him and I was like, "Can you help me design a shirt?" And he had this pumped out in like 10 minutes. He's awesome, and that's actually the silhouette of the monument. It is a Durham, North Carolina replica from Monuments Across Dixie. And I just wanted something different. And I was like, you know what? I'm so sick of politicians. I'm sick of, as the commander Boshier says, I trust him as trust a Taco Bell fart. So I was like, we need to. I was like, and it's done very well for us. I'm hoping to kind of maybe even do a second order of shirts and kind of be able to ship them out. I'm not tech or I'm just trying to get them sold in by person, and we've done very well for it. Jordy Bonfire. I'm not plugging them because we use them. We have zero in stock of our shirts, so they print and mail direct.
Okay.
Bonfire. And I think we get I'll send it to you after because I do think we do get a referral code.
Okay, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I need as much help as I can, but because this was just the project I took on myself, but it's been a great success, so I'm very proud of it.
So here's the spoiler alert picture of the face of the monument. Good job there, Moose.
My bad.
And we've got some other ones I'll cycle through of you and the monument, which of course it is life size.
Yes.
So what are y'all's plans with the monument?
Well, I mean, this project was, I got just so sick, and the rest of the camp and our UDC chapter got so sick of just seeing and being mad. I got so just annoyed. I was like, okay, I'm just going to constantly put angry emoji faces on Facebook. It's like, that's not doing anything. I was actually sick with COVID when I got this idea. I said, you know what? I'm just going to put the cart before the horse, and I'm just going to try to buy this monument. Monuments Across Dixie, if you don't know about them, look them up. They are doing awesome work replicating monuments, and they did 3 of the Durham, North Carolina monument, and he had 1 left. And my idea was like, this thing can be rolled around on a dolly. I could take it to events and help raise money. So we actually got, I think it was 2 years ago, we finally got the funds to purchase him. And got him home here in Tennessee, and now we've been working on the base. The goal is to put him on the museum's property. We've got permission from the museum. We've got most of the funding for a section of the base. The biggest thing that we're trying to get our ducks in a row. As I've said off camera, the road department is actually expanding near the museum. It's turning from a 2-lane to a 4-lane. So we really want him where he's going to be seen. It's going to be 8-foot tall base. He's 6 foot tall. So we're wanting this very large monument in the front yard pointed right at cars. We want them to see him. And so also the kind of a bad thing about that is they're going to take a section of the side yard. And so we've got to wait till the road department finally says, you could put it here. And the goal is to also turn that into a monument avenue of sorts. There's been tons of historical markers that are going to have to be relocated with the road crew. There are some that have been lost to time. We want to get redone. There's also a UDC marker that was put up in the 1920s. Our UDC, shout out to the Sam Davis chapter, Morristown, Tennessee. We couldn't do half the stuff we do without our UDC ladies. And they have a marker there. It has lived there since it was a dirt road. I think there's actually a picture of it. And it actually was featured in a Confederate veteran. And I'd love to see that issue. And so we want to move it. It's the only time we want to move a monument, but we want to move it where they're expanding the road and put it on the museum property. and then we had a General Lee statue donated to the museum we'd like to put there. So we're wanting to turn that into nothing but historical markers and monuments all the way down the side of the museum on full view of the public.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is. And how many members does your camp have?
Right now we're right at 50, or over 50, a little under 50. Now dues are coming in. And when I first joined, we were over 100, and I've lost many friends over the years. And then Charlottesville, we can't really deny that hurt our organization. COVID really hurt, but we are staying strong. We've gained some great new members, and I would love quality over quantity. And we've got some great men in our chapter that have done amazing, that step up to the plate, and that no matter what we do, they're like, hey, let's get this done. And the energy is just, I go into camp meetings, I'm nervous. I don't like speaking in front of people. I've been terrified about this all weekend. And
dude, you're knocking it out of the park.
You're knocking it out of the park, dude. You're doing a great job.
I think it's where I'm only seeing YouTube, so I'm not seeing the comments either. I think that's helping. But no, so we just kind of, I don't like speaking, but when I leave a meeting, no matter if there's 5 people in the camp, that show up or what, I'm energized and I'm ready to go and I'm ready to keep fighting, and I love it.
Well, you are doing a fantastic job.
Great work. Beautiful monument, by the way.
Yeah,
monuments across Dixie. They've got more available. They've got some Lees and I think a Forest available.
Yeah, we the one we put up in Calhoun City came from them. They are, I think that one for base and all was a little under 16. So we can put them up, guys.
Yeah.
But
if my little camp can do it, you can do it. And I mean, I'm telling you it. And then thank Out of the Box. I think it was a camp in North Carolina put one on a boulder. I thought that was genius. Yeah. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Yeah. I thought that was genius. And then we're actually buying the retaining wall blocks that you see on the interstate. That's what we're using for our base. Has the nice texture on the side. We've already had it quoted, and the guy said, "I'll build you a custom topper to screw the monument on the top, and then we're just going to place a headstone marker underneath it, and then put a little pretty fence around it."
Well, that is. I hope T-Dot is better than M-Dot, and they move a lot quicker than us, because it took us 10 years to get a Jeff Davis Highway monument relocated and then re-erected, because they're widening the highway. But I hope that within the next 2 years that y'all are able to dedicate that monument out there.
Yeah, I hope Tennessee does better and quicker road work than Mississippi. That I'm pretty sure they've been doing road work on that road since I was a child, or maybe since before I was born.
Harrison, you didn't know this, that the work on Highway 49, that actually started after William Tecumseh Sherman burnt Jackson. He issued orders, start repaving 49.
That explains a lot.
They've been talking about expanding this road since before I was born, but they finally started buying property and tearing down houses and stuff. So it's going to happen eventually, but if they just go ahead and give us a green light and just spray paint a square and say, okay, you can work within this square, then we're going to start breaking ground and lease. But we've got just a few more bills I'd like to pay. And, every bit of money that we get, who knows, we might can make it taller, because we've been quoted on, because we could just add more blocks. So if you want to see, and this is a replica of the one that was destroyed in Durham, and that was one that really got my blood boiling. So if you want to see one of them go up, I mean, donate.
Heck yeah. It's scrolled across the bottom of the screen, guys.
Please support.
Heck yeah. And of course, Jordy's on Facebook. I'm not telling you to go look him up and bombard him with questions. But I think I'm pretty sure Bradford Rose has a pretty good social media presence out there. Look them up if you do have questions about the monument, the house, anything that we haven't been able to cover. It's because some people are shy about it. But definitely y'all are doing some amazing work up in Tennessee, and we appreciate you coming on and spending the time with us, Jordy. I mean, your camp is just knocking it out of the park, and y'all should, your camp should be very proud of the work that y'all are doing.
Yeah, we're very blessed. I'm blessed to have the men and the women. I mean, I will say our camp and then our UDC chapter. I'm very blessed to have these men and women. And I'm not worthy. They deserve a better commander, but I'm very blessed. God has blessed me in this organization.
Well, amen. And you're definitely y'all everything that you're saying, that you've done in the past couple years is y'all are really you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you.
In my opinion, as a past division commander, loving seeing that. So anyway, well,
fantastic.
We're going to go ahead and pull you behind the scenes. You can hang out because we're about to begin the wrap up, and we'll talk some more after air, and probably definitely going to do a write up about this on Patreon. But we'll again appreciate you for being on with us tonight, Jordy, and we'll bring you back up after we end the stream. So again, knocked it out of the park, bud. All right. Well, it is a little after 8 o'clock here in central Mississippi, which means it's 9 o'clock for Jordy. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. We appreciate you for tuning in and watching us this week. A bunch of good stuff for your camps to get ready and get on. It even looks like, if your division isn't sponsoring one, go ahead and start it on the camp level, at least on the Ag Award. Check on your history in your backyard because you'll never know what you'll find. Things like that. Hey, Harrison, what are you doing tomorrow night?
Well, I think I'm going to sit back, relax, and watch Look Around Florida.
Yes, reminder, tomorrow night, tune in to Look Around Florida with the Florida man, Sean McFall, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Confederate Time. Sean does a fantastic job with that program, so make sure to check him out. Hey, Moose, I noticed there was a picture of you at the Mississippi Division reunion, and your camp got a streamer?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd that streamer come from?
Well, that streamer came from Southern Flags and Quilts.
Yes, Southern Flags and Quilts. She has been a great friend of the camp, and in fact, we have our own SCV chat flag that we will be bringing out at National Reunion, provided somebody remembers it.
Santa, bring the flag. We got it.
We're not bringing the flag. Reminder, send in your news and everything for Look Around the Confederation. You have a special, is the Look Around episode, or is it a campaign episode, or what are you doing Thursday?
We are doing our campaign episode. We will have our Commander-in-Chief interview. So Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy is running for Commander-in-Chief of the SCV this National Reunion. We will be having him on to talk about his platform for Commander-in-Chief. And, of course, if you send in your news, we'll talk about that for the first 15 minutes of the show, while the rest of the show will be dedicated to Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Kennedy.
And if we happen to miss something, hold on.
He's getting ready.
Or if it's not sent in by 3 o'clock Mississippi time, we will make sure that we are posting it.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that we're posting it, in the Facebook feed.
Page.
We've got a couple
Instagram.
of. Yeah, well, some of them,
some of them can't transfer over to Instagram, but we'll try our best.
Yeah. So still send that in. I've got, I think, 4 of them scheduled for tomorrow throughout the day. I've got a 5th one I've got a schedule for tomorrow for around 5 o'clock from an event Moose was actually at this weekend. So we're trying to get that out there, trying to tell what your camps are doing so the world can see what we are really about. Hey, Moose, are you on our Patreon?
I am.
Okay, well, if you're not, it would be a lot cooler if you did. Remember to join Patreon, that patreon.com/SCV_chat. $10 a month. Make sure you are joining under the real chat head section. It's helping keep us on the air. Just $10. That's, $10 a month.
Yeah.
So yeah. Remember again to support Creative Cockades, this season's sponsor. Love the idea of giving a cockade out as part of the Ag Award. Love that. If you are not a member of the SCV, or you are not eligible to join the SCV because you don't have the family lineage or the genetic qualifications, remember, you can join the Friends of the SCV. Visit scv.org for more information. And with that, we're going to call it an episode here. Again, want to thank everybody for these amazing numbers. That's a good start. We want more. Our ancestors deserve more. So make sure that you are liking, sharing, and commenting on Facebook, YouTube, and you can check us out on our podcast.
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it.
All right, just end the show.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in. Remember to tune in Thursday. Remember also on Friday, David Pope has some stuff going on with the Friends of Douglas Southall Freeman. Actually, that'll be on the 28th. So that's next Friday.
That's cool.
So check that out. Remember, do something in your community, do something for God and the SCV, and remember, in the words of the late and great Harold, don't forget to put the ticker on the bottom when I start the end credits.
I got you.
In the words of the late and great Harold Philpotts, no Fumar
in the elevator.